What's going on, guys? This is Otis here, and today's commentary is just basically going to be me ranting about Battlefield 3 and just what I absolutely hate about the game right now. And this has to be my number one complaint that I'm just getting really annoyed and just frustrated at and just pissed off most of the time is pilots like this, like people who fly 2 miles above the whole entire battlefield, just trying to shoot their missiles at like a helicopter, and if they happen to kill the helicopter, then they try to shoot the planes, and they're just doing a little twirly bird. They're spinning around in circles trying to get the plane, and it's just so annoying. It's just so just frustrating, like tiring, especially people who haven't unlocked everything for the attack helicopters, because I'm in one of those groups now, coming over to the Xbox and playing that a lot more than I have the PlayStation this week. And it's just kind of unfortunate because this could have easily have been a perfect gameplay where the people we're playing against, half of them were decent and half of them were just pretty much noobs. And I mean, we had some noobs on our team too, but I think it's coming up in like in a minute and a half. Our first death or whatever, he starts going towards our spawn a little bit. We weren't like spawn camping. I would say it was more like trapping. Like we're just setting up a defensive line. We're not going too far into their spawn. But, the anti-air, is still able to hit you there, too, so it's, it's not all bad and whatnot. And the anti-air ends up disabling us, and with still, like 25 or 30% health left in the helicopter, the guy just bails, just flat out, just bails, didn't have a headset or anything. And then by the time I realize, of course, that he's out, not flying the helicopter anymore, it's pretty much 2 feet away from the ground, and of course it lands, explodes, I die, and I was just so pissed off and so livid. And it's just like, it seems like there's 3 types of pilots in Battlefield. There's one, people who actually know what the fuck they're doing and actually can fly around and kill people and stay alive, like me on the PlayStation. The Xbox, not so much. I'm decent. I'm just not as good. I get mixed up with the buttons, pressing the right ones, when to flare and whatnot. So that's kind of like a little thing that I definitely need to work on, which I obviously will work on, as I'm playing the Xbox a little bit more. And then you all have your number 2 pilot, which isn't as common as it used to be when the game first came out, but these are the people who get in the helicopter and take off and then immediately crash within 4 to 5 seconds. And it happens occasionally, yes, because there's still people who are buying this game on a continuous basis, chip into the game thinking they can fly the helicopters like they could in Bad Company 2. And, it's just you go straight up and you go straight down. You do the old rainbow approach, I like calling it, where they start to go up like in a little arc, and then they're going right back down in a little arc. And, it's definitely frustrating. At least that doesn't happen as much as it used to, like in the beginning when the game first launched. So, it's getting a little bit more manageable, I would say. Maybe it happens every out of like 15 or 20 games, which is not bad, it's decent at least. But that's something that it happens, and I understand. And a lot of people say, oh, they need to learn. No, there's a co-op mission. You get your ass into co-op. You start flying the helicopter there if you want to get good and get decent at it. It's just that's how it is. There's a free mission. You can go and you can crash it as many times as you want. It respawns instantly because it's a co-op mission, and there you go. I've had a few friends that have learned that way, and if you suck at flying the helicopters, do that. Now planes, that's a completely different story. You're by yourself, so if you crash, yeah, you're kind of disabling your team if you have a decent or good pilot on your team. But, you're only hurting yourself with your kill-death ratio. You're only giving the enemy pilot another kill, which, if he's killing you, he's probably already got everything unlocked. So there's not really much hurt you can do to your team, technically, if there's a better pilot, they'd be able to hopefully take out the other planes and helicopters. But, it's not too big of a deal. But, it's here and there. Next thing I just want to rant on about, too, when I was playing the Xbox, is my aim is just atrocious when it comes to guns and shooting on the Xbox. And that's just, I'm not used to the controller. I'm just so used to the PlayStation controller, that muscle memory that my hands have. I'm great in the PlayStation, but, not, it's like I said earlier, not so much. Like, it's pretty bad sometimes on the Xbox. So in order for me to counter that, what I ended up doing was I use the M4 now, because I'm only the engineer class on the Xbox. And so what that enables me to do is it's only a 2-shot gun, and so I'm able to get a lot more shots precise, because what was ended up happening is I would empty my clip in the 3 to 4 seconds, and I would get 1 or 2 hit markers, and of course the guy would just absolutely unload on me, and I would just get pissed off. So, I had to counter that a little bit. But, one thing that's kind of getting me a little annoyed is I'm getting probably like 6 or 7 suppression ribbons a game just because I'm shooting the outline of the person and I'm not like shooting the actual person. And so that's just kind of pissing me off every single time I see a suppression ribbon. It's like a participation award that you get in like 3rd grade like soccer games. It's like, you know what? Thanks for trying, but you're pretty horrible, and you should stop playing soccer. And it's just, I almost feel like that, like in Battlefield 3. Every time I see that suppression ribbon up, it says, thanks for trying, but you are pretty much shit. So you should stop playing. You should stop being on the ground. And I do have some good games where I've got like a 2-to-1, 3-to-1, kill death ratio. But I mean, I would say 2/3 out of my games, I'm barely hitting 500. I may be like at a 1-to-2 ratio, which is pretty bad, for my standards when you compare it to the PS3, standards, which is, it's frustrating, seeing that suppression ribbon and stuff, but, it's just something you have to deal with, and I'm getting more used to it. I'm getting my shots a little bit better, too, now that I've got some stuff. I've got everything that I wanted to get unlocked for the M4. I have unlocked now, so, that's at least a little bit better for myself, and I don't have to rage as much anymore when people are killing me all the time, because it's pretty much just me just not hitting them, and it's not anyone else's fault except mine. And my last rant that I have to get on to is the DICE servers. I mean, it's so frustrating that they go and they take them out, and then they finally, after everyone goes, oh, what the fuck, DICE, you need to put the servers back in, and they go and they finally put some in. It's such a token amount on both systems. There's, I think, maybe like 10 or 15 on all the servers, like for either Xbox or PlayStation that I've seen. It's like 2 of them are full and the rest of them are empty, and it's so horrible, the game modes, because the game modes are either like mixed, where it's like deathmatch, rush, and like conquest, and then think like maybe some conquest and some rush. I'm not sure. Then there's then the one that I like to do on the PlayStation, but I can't do on the Xbox, is the Epic Battles one. And that's pretty much all of the good air flying maps, and then Golf of Omen. And I can't do that on the Xbox because I haven't downloaded the DLC, because as of right now, I just see no point in me downloading the DLC just to play one little map when the new DLC is going to come out, which I probably will most likely get on both systems. I will be getting it on the PlayStation for sure, and I probably will be getting it on the Xbox, but it's to be determined, I would say, at this point right now. And, it's just so frustrating that I have to go and like type in on the search thing normal tickets, blah blah blah, just to try to find a game that has normal tickets, no DLC maps, and it's frustrating. Yeah, they put the servers up but for people who don't have the DLC maps, it's almost just pointless for them. And I mean, I understand why they took them down. It was so they could have more room for servers, so they could so they can basically just make more money. I mean, that's the reason why they originally took their servers down, because if they do that, they're not paying for their own DICE servers, and yet people are paying them to host the servers. So it's definitely understandable. But, hopefully you guys listen to this whole rant. If not, I completely understand. But thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you later.